For today's demo, we're going to be looking at our dispatch platform and how our responders arrive to the alarms for verification. The first thing you're looking at here is a picture of our live dispatch console that our South African and UK controllers use and help monitor your situation live and that officer responding. And then on the right-hand side, you have a picture of my phone of what the responding officer sees when they accept a dispatch and how they respond. So typically this is done through an API integration, but for today's demo, what I'm going to show you is a dispatch from our dispatch customer portal. So what you're going to see here is the officer come online. I'm going to go ahead and go on duty. Pretty quickly, you're going to watch an additional dot pop up on our map. For this instance, we're using our Dallas market for the demo. On this side of the screen, you have our dispatch portal where your team could use this independently or through an API integration where one click dispatches that officer with all your customer information already inputted. So you're going to see a few things happen. You're going to see my phone start going wild, and I'm going to have to also I'm going to go back over to the control center where I actually then have to race our control center in South Africa and the UK to that alarm. I have to own that first, and then I also have to own it prior to our officers in the field who would be responding. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and you'll see me move around quite a bit here. So there it is. There's a closest responder, so we're going to accept it. Silence it.
Drive east on Commerce
Something you'll
Street.
notice right away
Then,
is
in 500
from the
feet, turn left
officer's
onto
point of
South
view,
Lamar
they
Street.
get the driving directions to the location. And from our control center, everything is happening live. So you don't have to wait till the end to get that report. Your team can see it through the API integration and select what information you get pulled in. Same goes for your customer. Full transparency along the way. You have all the SOPs that can be inputted for the sites as well. For the demo purpose today, I obviously can't drive to the little taco shop we have here downtown, but in a perfect world, when they're actually responding, when they get up to about 10 meters of the location, it's going to auto arrive them, which is very important. The more amount of human interactions we can take out, the better. So let me go ahead from our control center, and I'm going to arrive our responder. All right, and again, complete transparency. This updates, and then when you come over to the customer portal, you can also see that the responder has arrived. You can look at the checklist, see what's been completed so far, and then full details here. And everything's time-stamped, so you don't have to worry about an officer just showing up, saying they showed up, etc. When the officer arrives, there's a site checklist that they have to complete, whether it's specific to your customer or generic to vertical, like residential, retail, manufacturing, etc. And let's say the officer does get there, and since we're looking for that alarm verification, there is something really going on. They have the option to request police right from their device, ask for a callback from our control center, etc. It gives them the ability to capture additional media if there's more to what the checklist may be asking for. So when that officer does arrive, they do have to complete that checklist. So they go through, again, could be customized, could be generic. For testing purposes, we'll go ahead and add media. You're going to see my phone turn off. I'm going to take a picture of the JFK Memorial. Back to what you see here. There's the picture of the JFK Memorial. You can click into it and see if anything needs to be adjusted. When I said things are being tracked live, our control center also has the ability to see how they're making their way through the checklist, and they can be like, hey, that picture you took is blurry. I need you to take another one. So we do cross our T's and dot our I's. We're not trying to make changes after the event. We're handling it live. If I was the officer, if I wanted to try and leave the scene, it won't let me conclude the call out because the checklist isn't completed. For the sake of transparency, when we do a test, you're going to get the infamous green screen, which is when I don't untoggle my phone to take the picture. And you'll see how quickly the next media pops up. Pictures are available. It's very intuitive. Then the officer is able to complete the call out from there. Full transparency. Immediately pops up on the dashboard. Then our operator will give the officer a call because we can't close out the dispatch until our officer puts their notes in. Once they put their notes in, they'll hit conclude. That's when the final report is generated and sent to whoever is needed. Same thing with your dashboard. You can go to my callouts, see how many callouts were done for a shift that evening, review them all. The whole timeline is time-stamped. You can look at the pictures, download the media, look at PDFs, all from the portal here. When we continue to talk about transparency, we have the full analytics dashboard, right? You can see how many callouts you had for a month or that shift, or you can even break it down by customer. You can look at your best response times. We use this for you, but we also use this internally to make sure that we're staying within our own KPIs. And when we use it, we have something similar for our responders where we track their KPIs as well. Very similar looking dashboard. We want to make sure that they're also fulfilling their duties. And then the final thing that I like to showing at the end here is the ability for scheduled services. If you think about it from a residential standpoint, your customers have the ability to schedule maybe a routine patrol. If they're going on vacation, they can schedule a routine patrol around their homes, maybe a couple times a night. Let's say the package was delivered while they're away. They can have an officer come and remove that package and put it somewhere safe. We've even seen, hey, I left the garage door up. Can you send someone by to close my garage door for the day? Think of it like this white glove service from the residential side. And then from the commercial side, there's also scheduled services for temporary static guarding, extra patrols, or locks and unlocks. The sky's the limit on what you can request from a security standpoint. Probably the most common one we anticipate are fire watches. When a company's fire alarm system is down, they need a static patrol through a weekend or for a few nights to supplement the fire systems. Usually that's a requirement by insurance and local legislation that requires them to have somebody in the building if their fire alarm system is down. We anticipate a lot of requests for that from the commercial side. And then maybe there's an uptick in criminal activity around a property and they want that extra visibility on their property. So it gives your customers the ability to schedule those fixed services and in turn gives you a little bit more revenue to collect from them as well. That pretty much concludes what our demo would typically look like from the point of view of the responding officer in our console.